Hey, beautiful friends. Welcome to now. I hope you're so well wherever you are in this now moment. Want to say, hey, thanks for joining this game called Human and the most epic shifting nows. I want to talk about some of the energy that I personally have been feeling, and others have also reflected to me that they're experiencing this. So I want to share it because of how it is manifesting. I find it very interesting. So, we're still in this like Lionsgate portal energy field, and a big wave of what feels like not and this isn't just in this exact little like portal time. It's been happening, but it's like mm, coming into the awareness more in the way it's feeling in the physical body. So anyway, huge surge of like sexual energy is coming in for so many people. And it feels so good for some. For some, it feels like literally being filled with the Holy Spirit. It feels like orgasmic energy. It doesn't feel like the crescendo of like orgasm. It feels like this orgasmic arousal, pleasure energy that's a sustaining field of energy that is moving in through the body. So not just like this kundalini awakening, like whatever. It's not the same energy. Um, Although, I mean, well, it is, but it's not. The way I've been seeing this is that our physical body's consciousness, because we are consciousness and everything else is consciousness as well. And although I am the oneness and I am the oneness of me, there are parts of me that have their own consciousness. For example, our heart has its own consciousness. It's doing what it needs to do, right? Our eyes are blinking. They have their own consciousness. They're taking in the data. Our brain has its own consciousness, although that is where consciousness can be made aware of itself, and that's fun. Anyway, my body itself has its own consciousness as the whole of it. So the consciousness of the body is being activated. So that can feel really, really good. And there's that. And to me, it's because we're supposed to be holding this energy in our physical body as we continue to ascend into a higher frequency energy field to live in and to be in as we live in that way. So it's like the physical body, because the vibration of like sexual energy, arousal energy, crush energy, that feeling of like, ooh, I've got a crush. Or that feeling of like knowing that like your crush has a crush on you, and that just feels so juicy and delightful. So it's that field of energy when we can hold it and let it be a part of our embodiment, then each cell of our being is going to hold a different frequency. It's the energy of creation. Sexual energy is the energy of creation. So, what I've also noticed is that some people are experiencing this sexual energy and they don't know what to do with it, right? They feel like they need to go hook up, like they need to have some sex, right? They need to masturbate. They need to get the energy out, because we collectively haven't been taught how to be with that and to like be in the yumminess of it. So, a lot of people are experiencing this surge of creation energy in the physiological, and it's coming out in a few different ways. It's coming out with addictions to stuff and things and distractions, food, alcohol, drugs, TV excessively, whatever you name it. Obsessive working out, just like I gotta, all like that. It's also manifesting and presenting itself as uh, like clinging to like um, a person. This it's like a clinging energy, It's a needy energy. Like, I need you to satisfy this. I need this to be satisfied, because they haven't tapped into the satisfaction of the isness of what is that they are experiencing. Again, it's part of the way we have collectively been conditioned to deal with sexual energy, right? The energy of creation. So, um, when people get a flood of sexual energy, especially if, say, you're in partnership and you're having a crush on someone else, or um, you are um, in partnership and you really want to have a sexual experience, and then the partner doesn't because they're just, two different beings. So, like, the way this is showing up and presenting itself for some is also activating programs of guilt and shame, because the guilt and shame programs are connected to the sexual expression of human. That's when the colonizers came in and they were like, God is outside of you, white man in the sky, call it the father, we're going to give it a masculine nature, completely ignore the goddess aspect of the source. And then anything that has to do with sexuality is going to be controlled and oppressed and suppressed by this almighty outside of self God. And so the human experience has been a lot of guilt and shame around a lot of our sexual expression and feelings of sexual energy. And because of that, people have been sexually repressed, or they have expressed their sexual desires in ways that are like non-consensual, or addictive in nature. I had an ex that when I found out he was looking at like child porn, I had a little bit of a meltdown. Um, that's a little side note. Anyway, the way sexual energy has been taught for us to express like in certain ways has been extremely distorted from our highest good. So if some are experiencing creation energy being activated in their physiological bodies, they actually don't know what to do with it. They feel like it needs to be released, needs to be satisfied, right? And there's this, it's really interesting to watch. So I want to put this out there that if this is resonating for you, that you're feeling this, like all of this like sexual energy, this feeling of arousal, this feeling of excitement, this feeling of maybe like a deeper level of desire and want. It's almost like the feeling of like wiggling a loose tooth or like scratching a mosquito bite when you're like, I just want to stop it. I feel so good, but it's hurting me when I do it, or like whatever. If this is where you are, the invitation is to meditate with it and sit with it, ask source, your guides, your highest self, what the messages are in this for you. And, little tidbit is that you can also like do something creative. You can dance, you can just sit with your body, you can touch yourself, go into a self-pleasure practice, um, paint, create, draw, write, like use that sacral energy for for your own creation. Um, so there's that. If this is something that you're like okay with feeling because it feels really good, and you still maybe don't know what to do with it, right? Because maybe you don't have the guilt and shame, right? Um, and you're not reaching for addictive patterns and uh, habits. You're not like jumping into the next relationship. You're not jumping into the next bed with someone else. You're like okay with you and your own sexual energy. The invitation is to play with it. The invitation is to play with yourself. Just play with yourself. That's it. Um, and the invitation is to play with the energy of creation that is being activated on a cellular level. This energy is creating a more crystalline structure in our bodies. So we are actually starting to activate different DNA. I got a really big download last night on this. I'll make a different video on it. But the DNA that we're activating, I actually saw it in the DNA in a different way than I normally have seen it. Um, And it's like super badass. It's so friggin' cool. And like what I was seeing, I was like, holy shit, like we are literally ascending in the human body. Some of us are. And it's just it's phenomenal and it's magic and it's like OMG. We are like having it's a consensual hybridization of our highest self into our physical. We are giving consent. If I am experiencing the sexual energy and I'm wanting to get rid of it, then I am, in one way, if you can see this, rejecting that creation energy. So I don't give it time to actually synthesize in my being. And when I don't allow it to synthesize, then those codes, those genetic codes that like could like anchor in and like light up and activate in our DNA, that could like really just like, yeah, I'm in it to win it. It doesn't have enough time to like take hold. If you want it to take hold. I personally want it to take hold. I'm enjoying the ascension process in my physical body because it feels fucking phenomenal. And it also includes a lot of discomfort and purging and like removing of density in so many ways. And that's all good too. So anyway, um, so by rejecting it, it's almost kind of like when I think about like the breast cancer gene, okay, like they say that that's a gene and it can be activated. It can be activated with stress. It can be activated with belief, first of all. Actually, I should have said that first. Anyway, it can be activated with unhealthy patterns or behaviors of maybe foods that I eat, or if I stand in front of a microwave. Like there are things that are going to exacerbate the potential genetic activation of the breast cancer gene. Okay. Now, if I stand in front of a microwave once, it might kind of like start to activate the gene, but it's gonna be like whatever. Like they're like 99% like healthy, right? It's kind of like the thing like if you want to lose weight, you don't just eat one salad and think you're gonna lose weight, right? And it's also kind of like if you're healthy and you eat a pizza, you're not going to be unhealthy. Kind of the same concept. So, all this to say, this sexual energy that we're being flooded with, it is creation energy, it's source energy on the physical level. The physical bodies are getting the upgrade for many, many people. So, if you are interested in how to harvest and harness and amplify this sexual energy and you want like personalized, like I work with people one on one, so you can send me an email and like we can dive into this sexual energy, the creation energy, so that it starts to activate your higher level multi-dimensional DNA strands because we can do that. So cool. Spiritual gifts on lock. Anyway, so have fun with this sexual energy. Have fun feeling it. The invitation is to also not project. Not project like, well, what is this going to lead to? So like I have a crush on this person and well, what if they don't like me back? And well, how am I going to talk to them? And how am I going to do this? And da 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 da. Right. So I went and projected my mind into this reality that has like concern and doubt and like whatever, right? In this example. So I've taken myself out of feeling the crush energy. That is key to know and to note that if I go there in my head, I take myself out of creation, crush, desiring, arousal energy, and that's just a disservice. If I'm feeling um, this arousal energy, right? And I'm feeling it. Um, how long can I stretch it out? I know a lot of men are finally starting to study semen retention. I'm like, finally, it's about time, bruh. And I'm also learning that like a lot of dudes talk about it and really they're just like being in abstinence. I was talking with a friend about this today. They're just moving in the abstinence realm. You do you, boo. And that's not semen retention. Like that ain't it, right? That's not actually playing with the pleasure threshold and holding creation energy and not holding it in like a little box, but holding it in and like right outside the borders of your flesh so that it feels so rich and so filling that it literally is a full feeling of creation energy pulsing in your body. The energy, I mentioned it before, that we're getting right now, it's electromagnetic pulses. Boom, right? What is that? But like sexual creation energy. It's in, it's out, it's up and down, it's in and out, it's up and down, it's That's what it is. It's so good. It's like it's just it's yums. So, um, the invitation is to uh, let your mind not escape the energy that feels like pleasure and to not project it into a future, to notice if you're feeling guilt or shame about it. Um, and and whatever you do, make sure that it's consensual, whether it's with yourself, right? Like, so say you normally get this sexual surge and then your immediate go-to is to like to masturbate real quick, you know, ask yourself, like, is that really what I'm desiring? Am I just like moving into this repetitive pattern? Did I actually get consent from my body to do this? Like, is this actually what I want? Or am I just trying to get through it? Right? Um, or can you ask yourself, is this what I want? And then if it's a yes, like then can you say go into a pleasure masturbation practice, whatever you want to call it, and like how long can you make it last, and how long can you just keep like lifting that frequency in your entire vibrational body? That's spanda. It's the vibration of life itself. It is life itself. Life itself is creation. Ding. So big sexual energy feeling in the physiological is happening. For some, it's also probably causing a lot of physical discomfort, depending on where you are and the frequency of energy that you're holding. Um, so there's that. A lot of people have been feeling tired because it's a lot of energy. you know, you might all of a sudden feel like you have like you just had a shot of espresso or 15 and you have all this energy and you might have like production and you're like, okay, I got this done, I got this done, I got this done, I got this done. And great, then you're using that energy. Can you use that energy doing those things and feel the joy and pleasure of doing those things in your physical body? I feel like there was another thing that was coming in with this. Doop, doop, doop. Um, yeah, I don't remember. It'll come back if so. So yeah, sexual sexual energy surge, um, or creation energy, or crush energy, or arousal energy. It's activation station. We're on go. August is go time, show time. We're not fucking around anymore. And it's creating a new relationship with our bodies because we have started to really claim the sovereignty that we are. We are sovereign beings. And unless I claim it, then I'm not going to act or experience sovereignty, right? So once I actually like claim it and am that, then my body is going to reflect that with me, for me, in a way that is so divine. It feels amazing. So, um, if you're in partnership, that's also a really fun place to be if you're both experiencing these waves of energy because you can play with them together. You can play with them separate. Um, anyway, so yeah, enjoy the pulse. Be aware if guilt, shame, judgment, right, wronging comes in with these energies. Be aware if you are moving into addiction patterning. If you are all of a sudden, or if you are needing that sugar hit or that drink or that whatever that is. Just bring it into your awareness and enjoy the ascension. because we've launched. We're 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 in it. We're in it to win it. And so I love you. I love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking this out. Again, if you would like some like one-on-one support, you can send me an email and we can schedule that. I can do them virtually, you know. True story. It's cool. I love technology. So, anyway, just remember how loved you are, okay? You're loved. You're perfect exactly where you are in this now moment. You're doing a great job at being a human in this body, in this now, for the first time ever, because you've never done this before. Neither have I. No one else has. We're a whole bunch of children in big adult bodies, fumbling around, doing the best we can. The least we can do is remember that we're all gonna die eventually. So why not have some fucking fun and enjoy the ride? Enjoy the ride. Play, create, make, and be love. Because you're going to die. We're all going to do it at some point. Although we're eternal beings, so that's some fun polarity right there. But play with the life that you have and live it to the fullest. Thanks. I love you. And I'll see you on another. Okay, peace.